This is Batter Israel, and Batter Israel is a tattoo artist and a street artist. He's also a father, husband, Brooklynite, and so glad to have met him. He did a great installation series in East Harlem. That was wonderful. So, Batter, you just came back from a 3 month art tour, correct?
Yeah, yeah, it was a very interesting tour. I get to do things that I like tattoos, graffiti, and experiment the world and see different styles, different energies in different places, and how everybody takes their own energy and
Mm-hmm.
transform it. And that was very interesting to see how it was.
Now that's different because you did like an art tour in a sense where it was like a live sort of performance, sort of tour mixed with traditional art, and usually you don't hear about that. That's an unusual way of penetrating, like cities and neighborhoods and different groups. So who came up with the whole concept of doing the whole tour?
Well, I've been doing this for already 3 years in a row, but I think every year is getting better.
Okay.
So it's actually every place I go now, it's more people waiting for it
Ah.
because it comes with a whole package, right? And so when I go, I always do tattoos, and I end in doing sleeve, half a sleeve, or sometimes just people want to have fun. They just want to have small tattoos. So, and then after we finish all that, we go into the art, and then like people offer me walls
Mm.
and tell me, oh, you know what, I have a perfect spot to do something really nice. And then we go check it out. We see how's everything, the atmosphere, and then we create it. And then they sometimes give me freedom, and the way they say, you know what, okay, I just want this color, but then do whatever you want.
Okay.
And then that's the nice and amazing thing that I get to feel the people, and I get to feel what they want, and I think they feel identify with I do something that they really feel like, wow, that's amazing, and that's the best thing ever I ever.
So you kind of mix in a little bit of public art too, just like what we did in East Harlem when you did
Yeah,
Yellow Brick Road.
yeah. I always try to keep it like very traditional, always based to the roots that I always try to represent like Hispanic or like Indian culture images
Hmm.
where people sometimes doesn't really know much, but sometimes when they start seeing images like that, they kind of start memorize
Hmm.
and remember about these images, and then they have a whole impact like about culture, roots, and identity. And I
Hmm.
think that's pretty much what I do.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit how you started, because you started because your father is also a very well known artist too, correct?
Yeah, actually, he's one of the people who inspired me because he used to do graffiti back in the days. He was immigrant back in the 80s, and he was in that time where graffiti was in the streets. And
Hmm.
um, when he back to my country, Mexico, I guess he got that energy, and then I guess when the graffiti was outside in the streets, I started see what it was, and my father kind of direct me what it was this about, and then he gave me a lot of energy about and inspiration about what it was, the real
Hmm.
energy about the graffiti. And then I started making a lot of graffiti inspired on his pieces. I started seeing what he used to do, and then I started to copy, and then I found my own style,
Okay.
and that was very I appreciate that.
Okay. Now describe your style. How would you explain it to other people? Because it's very detailed. It's very,
Mhm.
very detailed and very, very colorful. Lots of wonderful colors in it. So how would you best describe, your work?
would say that I like Hispanic, so Hispanic images. So I would say like neo traditional Hispanic.
Okay.
Um, I like that because I think I put a little bit of fresh energy to all that uh, old uh, sculptures or
Mm-hmm.
prints that they used to be maybe when Aztecs and Egyptians was like. So I think that's what I try to get that style. So now I try to make it more new, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I would say like Hispanic God's faces
Okay.
is like what I like to do.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I thought it was interesting when I met your daughter Luna and you were working on the mural, she knew instantly it was you. It's like, it was amazing. This little girl she just knew daddy did this. And she
Mm-hmm.
instantly went to help you get your materials so
Mm-hmm.
she could help you. So do you see her one day being an artist as well?
Yeah, I think so because I'm at home and I mean she already made graffiti all over
Oh,
in the
wow.
walls. I bought like a space, little canvas for her so she can do his own painting. I spend time like at least maybe 15 minutes a day, try to teach her so she can get better. I think yeah, teaching your kids and teaching people that like me, I was inspire kids. It's like a tradition, and that's
Hmm.
what it's all about.
Okay, see, and I like that because it does feel like a family
Yeah.
affair that you're doing this. And then tell us a little bit about your art cartel because that in and of itself is like a family too, and that's how you're
Mm-hmm.
able to do this mix with performance
Mm-hmm.
and mix with music and DJs, and I think you even mix food too in it, right?
Yeah, we actually our cartel is a very interesting. Um, it's more like a platform that we try
Hmm.
to make for all the artists in New York, and we actually found base in Union Square
Hmm.
where we was making like every week events, and then I think we give opportunity to everybody to show up the skills. So our cartel is a mix of different mediums that either from graffiti, tattoos, sculpture, pictures, chef. It was music, DJs, breakdance.
Mm.
So our cartel was not just one thing; it was a mix of everything, and I
Hmm.
think that's sometimes like New York flavor, like something that you don't know what it is, but it's something, and then you found it, and then you build it and make it look very good. And I think that's what is our cartel is a big energy,
Hmm.
and we all collaborate and make it look nice.
I like how you said it's like a real New York sort of thing because I think something has happened over the decades. I mean, because I grew up in New York and the feel of New York has changed so much. I mean, there's pluses, there are minuses, but one of the things that I feel that was kind of lost in all of this change was the sense that everyone knew that they were a New Yorker. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a New Yorker, and you could tell that I'm a New Yorker by my accent, by my attitude, and I think we kind of lost that. But from what you're trying to do, what by making things more collaborative, we're going back to a little bit of that sort of savviness that we used to have as being New Yorkers.
Yeah, I think the culture is in the communities, and that's why I think all the artists, when they get the energy, they always try to keep it in group. And when you are uh, like our cartel team, we always show up that style that sometimes is missing, but it's there. It's just like it's just the soul of New York. It's just like you just gotta go walk in the streets and see what is around, and then you get inspired, and then either you could be a break dancer or DJ, either music or photography. So it's a lot to do in here.
Okay. Well, thank you again. And I want to thank you for participating in Fusion New York. We're really, really excited about this. And I really am hopeful that with all of the curators and participants, that they'll get to have our voices included, because in most of these art fairs, artists of color, curators of color were kind of on the fringe, and now we're trying to say, no, we are a part of it just like anybody else, and we have something wonderful to contribute. So thank you very much.
No, thanks for you. You're the best.
Oh, please, thanks.